let's run it then.
Mhm.
I think, I think we're good. Doo-doo-doo-doo-doo.
Do-do-do.
Maybe. Um, let me let me try and double check.
Mhm.
Let me double check. I think we look good. Hold on. Can you say something?
Hello.
Say it again.
Howdy.
Wow, I think we're good.
Howdy. Yay.
Hello everyone. Welcome to Amateur Hour Live number one. Um,
Yay.
I'm the only host today, Josh, because James regrettably could not make it. And I'm
True.
joined by my good friend Roman. Say hello.
Hello. Yeah, I'm here instead of James. James kind of pulled a Trejo and bailed on us.
Yeah, this is true. He pulled a tray out. He
Yeah.
did watch the movie, which is that's good. And he said it was good, but he just could not make it. And I wanted to get this done today.
True.
I did not want to wait because today is the 30th anniversary.
True. It's his
And
birthday. Happy birthday, Heat.
happy birthday, Heat. We thought it'd be fun to talk about. So,
True. Yeah.
yeah.
So, yeah.
Where should we begin?
Well, I guess we can start at the beginning. I mean, it starts
We
off.
maybe
Introducing the
give a little
protagonist.
rating. I think I normally do with James.
True, but I mean, it'd be kind of a waste of time. I mean, you already know my opinion. It's easily a 10.
I do.
Mhm.
I also give this a 10. What do you
True.
know? I'm not complaining for once.
True.
Isn't that neat? Isn't that
It's a big
exciting,
surprise.
everyone?
Yeah. Shocker.
Yeah. So, what a surprise.
True. It's a welcomed
So,
one, though. Mhm.
surprise to be sure, but a welcome one. Um,
Peak.
yeah, let's start at the beginning then. Would you like to go ahead?
Well, I mean, I was gonna say mostly start off, just like introducing, our characters, with, Neil, leading this crew, Neil Macaulay played by Robert De Niro, and then with Chris, Shaharless, played by Val Kilmer. May he rest in peace. And then
Right.
Michael Sharito too, and Trejo is there too, and as well as Wangro as well.
Yes.
Yeah,
Wangro's
it
not really a part of the main crew.
true,
Um,
but they introduce him. He joins in, and obviously the operation's kind of a good gist of kind of how everyone is alike. Mhm.
true.
Wangro, shows his more, I guess unpredictability, and that turns off the crew entirely. Mhm.
True. I think Wangro is a really good character.
Mhm.
So the film opens and we see him kind of plotting and getting ready for something. Whatever are
Mhm.
they gonna do? I wonder. I
Wonder.
thought I thought you were gonna say something.
No, no, no. I was just letting you take it from
Oh,
here.
okay. Well, yeah. So they're scheming, they're plotting, they're getting ready to do something. Whatever could it be? And
Mhm.
so we see in a subsequent scene they are robbing. They're robbing this truck, and it has a bunch of bearer bonds,
Mhm. That
and
belonged to Roger Van Zant.
that belonged to a Mr. Roger Van Zant,
Mhm.
who's a money launderer. So
Mhm.
he will be relevant the entire film, which is something I do appreciate. They don't just forget about this part.
Me
They
too.
keep it going.
Mhm.
He's incredibly important and is kind of the reason the reason things will eventually go bad, which is neat. It's a good his plotline's really good. I think it adds a lot, and it's just a good example of the actions at the beginning have consequences that you can feel throughout the entire movie.
True.
Some
Mhm.
good writing.
True.
Um,
I do like in the scene too. It shows how everyone, main within Neil's crew. Of course, apart from Waingro because we established, he's a new piece, But apart from him, everyone else is like locked in. Their decision making is like very quick. They know in advance, what to do and how to escape. Yeah,
Oh
and
yeah.
they don't take unnecessary risks. Like I know for example, they leave some money at the scene because they like, hey, we're on limited time here because the cops are gonna come anytime soon. We got to get out of here.
Yep. They're highly competent, which I think is one of the best parts of the movie.
True.
I'll
Mhm,
point out other examples of that as we go on. But
mhm,
Wingro is a little trigger happy, as the
mhm,
kids might say.
mhm,
So he gets a little jumpy at one of the guards guarding the truck, and he kills him.
mhm,
It's like, oh, okay. Um, and so the crew is locked in. They're not making mistakes. They've got this plan like clockwork. And Wangro, like, he clearly doesn't fit in. Um,
mhm,
and he screws things up. And this is also very important. I think that's uh, just the way, like, everything in this opening scene is
mhm,
incredibly important for the duration of the film. Like,
mhm,
none of it's wasted, none of it's forgotten about,
mhm,
which is some great stuff.
mhm,
And I do like how before they even start like the actual heist, they're in the truck, Wengro and Michael,
mhm.
and Wengro's just talking, and Michael just tells him, "Just shut up, dude."
True.
And it's a really funny scene, but the look
Mhm,
Wengro gives is like you can see
mhm,
like things aren't gonna go well because he already
true.
kind of doesn't like him.
Yeah, one thing, that, it's kind of funny that you bring it up that Michael of all people shuts him up because, later in the film, Vincent talks to a guy, who was in jail in the past with Michael, and he talked about how Michael himself was kind of talkative too.
That is funny, yeah.
Yeah.
But I guess like because Michael would have been doing it not on the job, and once he's on, he's locked.
True.
But it also just shows like, yeah, they're not going to get along with Wayne Crow, and he may be
True.
useful now, but even if he didn't kill the guys and didn't screw up, they probably just would have dropped him.
True.
But he does kill the guys, and so Neil and the others have to shoot the other two guards
Yeah.
at this point, just because there's no
Because no
point.
witnesses. Yeah.
Yeah, no way. There's no point in leaving them alive now that there's murder. Um, and they drive off just in time to evade the police because they know the police response time. And they
Mhm,
blow up the ambulance they're in and hop in a different
mhm,
car and they take
mhm,
off. And
mhm,
it's a really, like, just as an opening scene, we get pretty much everything we need to know about the characters, um,
mhm,
as well as their competency. Like, they're really um, knowledgeable, they're really competent. And
mhm.
I really just appreciate that in the main characters. And it's great stuff. It's a great opening scene.
True. And I love too, the scene that falls, when our other main protagonist, Vincent Hanna, LAPD cop, comes in and observes, the aftermath of the crime scene. Mhm.
Yes, the goat,
He's
Vincent
a great
Hanna,
played by Al Pacino. Yeah.
played by Al Pacino.
True. Mhm,
Yeah, we didn't mention this, but him and Neil are like the two main characters, um,
mhm,
which I think is great because they are
mhm,
on like just completely opposite sides of the law, but they're both similar in a lot of ways, and
mhm,
it makes for a really interesting dynamic, especially like because they're similar, but they're on opposite sides of the law, and they're enemies who
mhm,
understand each other, which is really great. And I think because I'm a big fan of the director Michael Mann,
mhm,
and it reminds me a little bit of Manhunter because the
mhm,
first hour or so focuses solely on why am I forgetting his name? Focuses on the main character, And then the second half, we kind of focus more on Francis Dollarhide. And it's not
Mhm.
exactly like this, where they're like two protagonists, but I just like how we're showing both sides, get to
Mhm.
know both sides as characters, and it's done like obviously that one, I really like how they do it, but this one, it's like these are the main characters.
True. And they're both, they're both not only competent, but they're also likable. So yeah, it's
Oh
like
yeah,
it makes it hard for me to, like I don't want them to kill each other, but unfortunately that's the way it has to go.
yep.
Mhm.
It's like yeah, I think the way the film is structured is just like so brilliant because it's like they're both protagonists. You could root for either one of them. You don't really want either one of them to lose, but you know one of them
Mhm.
has to.
Mhm.
So that's it makes a really interesting dynamic. Um,
True.
yeah.
Mhm.
So
I do. I do also like how in the first scene where Vincent gets introduced, he like the moment notices, Neil's crew. Well, he doesn't know obviously it's Neil's crew. He thinks it's some crew, or not really some. Bleh. What I mean is, he knows that whoever did this is really competent, and he's like, all right, I want this case. I'm not gonna pass it off. I'm gonna yeah, just stick to this. I'm
oh
gonna
yeah,
find out who did. I'm gonna put them behind bars. It shows that he's really locked in, as the kids would say, on his job. Mhm. And it to the point where the next thing he's in, when he gets home, and Justine, chastises him kind of, it
yeah.
shows, it's to the point where the rest of his life, is so bad because he
I do.
neglects it so much for in
Yeah,
favor of,
I do think his. I think his like technically his introduction scene is um, right before the heist, but we just see him with Justine.
Mhm.
Um, I don't remember. I don't remember what him and his wife are doing. Let me think. Or I don't remember the conversation.
Oh, sure, yeah, you're right. There was the scene before, where they slept together. Forgot about that.
Yeah.
Mhm. But it does show a bit, their
Oh,
life.
it okay. Yeah, it does show. It shows. Am I forgetting people's names? It shows Justine kind of neglecting her daughter
Her
a
daughter
little bit.
Lauren, yeah.
Yeah, so we set that up like right away, which pays off in a big way at the end, um, which is great.
Yeah, you can tell she's not really present, because she's like on drugs and stuff.
She's not present, and we hear more about what what's their daughter's name? Lauren, you said?
Lauren, yeah, Lauren,
Lauren.
yeah.
Yes. Her father is just pretty much absent completely, and so that
Yeah.
leaves Vincent to fill the void. And obviously, he's not the best. He's
Yeah.
not the best at doing that either, because he's not present, and that's what we get with Justine and Lauren.
True. But
And
at
then we
least
get the
with
heist.
Vincent, sorry, but at
No, go
least
ahead.
with Vincent, he does care, and if Lauren is in danger, Vincent will, care, which is more than he can say than her about him than her deadbeat dad.
Oh yeah, he
Mhm.
cares. He may not be
And it
present, but he cares a lot for them.
and more than obviously Justine too. Mhm.
Yeah, and that is something we get with the intro scene too, because um, Lauren is trying to find like her ballet shoes, and her mom's not helping,
Mhm.
and Vincent
Mhm.
is kind of interrogating her, like, "Oh, is her dad gonna stand her up again? Is he not gonna show up again?" And
Mhm.
so it makes him really likable that he cares so deeply about her.
Mhm. I agree.
Doo-doo-doo. So, anyways, what part's next?
Yeah, what
We got
follows
the
is
heist.
obviously the scene, where Neil and the others try to get rid of Wangro.
Oh yes, I think we'll skip some of. I know there's like smaller scenes in between, but we'll just cover cover the cover the big things.
Well, this is kind of a big thing. They try to get rid of him, but
Oh yeah, yeah,
just to escape.
yeah. So they meet in a cafe, and I think this scene is really funny because Neil just like hits Wangro, pushes his head into the table without warning, and then there's this really great shot of Michael because he kind of looks over at the guy behind Neil with a
Mhm.
look that's like mind your own business.
True.
Um, and the way it's acted is just really amusing. It's like,
True.
oh, okay, yeah, yeah, man.
I like it too. Mhm.
Um, and I'll say a little bit because
Mhm.
one of my favorite movies, but I think them like just trying to get Wangro right then in the street or in the parking lot
Mhm.
is a little odd.
Mhm.
I can excuse it as like I believe or I could believe like this is the meeting spot they set up
Mhm.
post robbery. This is where they're meant to meet.
Mhm.
It's just a little odd they don't try to take him away and then kill him. Um, and
True.
there's a bit of luck, a bit of bad luck for
Mhm.
the crew because a cop car passes right as they're trying to get him, and so they gotta pretend they're not just trying to kill and kidnap a man. So Wingro escapes, um,
Mm.
and so that'll that'll come to bite him later.
Yeah.
What's the next part? Doo-doo-doo.
I'm trying to remember. Oh yeah, I think somewhere
Oh,
I know
Neil.
somewhere below.
I think the next part is Neil going home.
True.
Which
Somewhere in
is
there too is. Wait, do you want to go or should I go
no,
first?
go ahead.
Yeah, somewhere in there too is yeah Chris also going home and obviously his wife Charlene
I yeah,
hates him for gambling.
I think that's after the
Mhm.
that is after Neil going home. Doesn't really
Do you
matter
want to
though.
cover? Yeah. Do you want to cover that first or? Mhm.
Sure. It's really simple. It's really basic. He goes home.
Mhm.
He puts his gun on the table, and
Mhm.
he kind of lives on some beachfront property, and he stands there and he looks out the window on the blue
Mhm.
sea, and it's such a
Your beautiful shot.
yeah
Mm.
one of my favorites ever.
Wish I could see this in the theater, man. It
Oh,
looks so gorgeous.
I'd kill to see this in the theater. But he
Yeah.
just stands there, his back's to the camera, he's looking out at the sea. You got the blue, and Michael Mann loves using the color blue, in pretty much all of
So
his movies.
much.
But it
Yeah.
really like it just because blue is very like lonely. Oh, it's on the screen. All right, it's gone.
Yeah.
Blue is a very lonely color, and so I
True.
just think it really communicates well um, how alone Neil is here.
True.
Um, just such a beautiful shot. And then
Hey,
we cut to Chris walking into his house,
Mhm.
and we get kind of an interesting parallel because Neil's looking out on the blue sea, and then we cut to Chris's house, and uh, oh, what's his wife's name?
Arlene. Yeah.
Okay,
Mhm.
There's a reason you wrote this all down.
True. I'm glad I did. Yeah. Thank
I
goodness.
forget sometimes. But we cut to Chris's house, and Charlene is sitting in their backyard,
Mhm.
and you can see like there's a pool in the backyard, and it's lit up, and so you kind of have the blue hue, the blue water remains at the bottom of the screen,
Mhm.
and you can kind of the way I'd read it is obviously she's not like enveloped in the blue, she's not as alone as Neil, but
Mhm.
she does feel alone and lonely too, with the way
Mhm.
their life is going with Chris,
Mhm.
because they're not in the best marriage ever,
Yeah.
and they get in an argument
Lack
during
of
this
money will
scene.
do that.
Lack of money will do that. So they get in an argument about money and Chris gambling, Um,
Which we'll get to later,
we'll
a
get
little
to
later,
later a little bit.
because I
Um,
have something. Yeah. Just,
you have something to say.
yeah.
Um, anyway, so Chris leaves and he heads off because his wife's mad at her and he's not going to stay there. And he goes and he bunks with Neil.
Wait,
And I think,
wait. Before that, I think it's important to say that right before he does Chris does dip, Charlene does trying to take Dominic their son Dominic away too,
that's true.
which does offend Chris very much because he's like, all right, take whatever you can take. I forgot what he says, but like take something. Say like I'll take Dominic. Will be like, no, you won't.
Yeah,
Like he draws the line at that.
which is fair. And it's,
So
I would say, also good setup for the ending. They both care a lot about Dominic, their
we'll
son.
get to that.
We'll get to
But
that.
it does show that Chris, despite all his shortcomings as both a husband and a father, he does still care very deeply for the both of them.
Yeah. And so the next scene is, I think the next scene is Vincent returning home again.
Mhm.
And he got home late and the chicken is overcooked.
It's very funny.
It's a very, yeah, it's a very funny scene, but he kind of, this is where we kind of start getting the Justine complaining about their life. Um,
Mhm.
and I think it's here she says she's like she gets the leftovers of their life, or is that later?
I hold up. I think that's a little later. I want to say,
Yeah, I think so.
when they have to leave, a little after their date, but mhm.
Yeah, yeah,
But
yeah,
yeah, you're right. That scene does it does introduce Justine's frustrations with Vincent not being present.
yeah.
Mhm.
Um,
Mhm. Mhm.
oh, he does talk about like the he's got three dead bodies. He's sorry if the chicken's overcooked. Like he's got bigger things going on. Is kind of what he's telling her.
Yeah.
And she doesn't appreciate it, and there will be a couple more discussions between them throughout the film
Yeah.
regarding
Yeah,
just
neither
regarding
character,
this the state of their relationship.
neither party is happy. Mhm.
No, they are happy in moments. Um, they have love for one another, but it is not like a happy relationship because Vincent is just not present.
And
He's got bigger things going on in his life, things he thinks are very important and
mhm.
treats them
Mhm.
as such.
I do
Um,
I do feel bad for both characters.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Mhm. Mhm.
Um, Now the next part is
Yeah.
Neil is in a little bookshop and he's
Mhm.
purchasing a book on stress fractures in titanium.
Nerd. Not
Yeah,
to you, but to Neil.
yeah, I've learned about this too. Yeah.
True. Yeah, but you
Um,
do it, for stud. Well, I guess technically he also does it as studies for his job, but
yeah, I'm a nerd just like him.
true. Maybe he's
Anyways,
just like me.
maybe he's just like me, one of the many.
Real.
Um, and so a woman walks behind him, and
Okay, he's no longer me.
huh?
He's no longer me.
Oh yeah, yeah. And so we cut to the next scene, and he goes into a bar. He's reading his book, and he's having a little drink. And next to him is that same woman,
Mhm.
Edie. She's on screen. She's gone. Okay, but she starts making small talk, and he's very defensive at first.
Mhm.
Um,
What? Actually, correction. She tries to make small talk with him.
oh, I
He
thought I said
defends.
that.
Oh, sorry.
Maybe I
You
didn't.
still don't.
I might have been wrong. I'm not sure.
I don't. Yeah, who knows? Yeah. We'll figure it out when this thing is published anyway.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah,
Anyways,
you're right. He is very defensive. Yeah.
he's very defensive, which I think without like any explicit dialogue really shows the kind of lifestyle he lives.
Hmm.
Um, I mean, what we've seen so far, he goes home, he's got no furniture, he stares out at an empty sea, and then when somebody
Which
tries to talk to him, he's defensive. And so he's a
true,
very like cold person, very distant from others.
true. But on a personal note, he's also very real because I also hate furniture so much. So he's just like me in that
He's
case.
just like you.
Real. When I get my own place, I will not have any furniture either. And when people say, complain, when will you have furniture? I'll be like, when I get to it.
Enjoy not having furniture.
Real, real.
Anyway, so then he kind of feels bad that he was so defensive because she was just trying to talk to him. She was just trying to talk to him, and he was mean.
Hmm.
And so he starts talking to her more. I do like the little detail that he moves closer to her. Like
Hmm.
they're not sitting right next to each other at the start.
Hmm.
Um, it's just a good like, oh, I'm engaging in the conversation now. Just a good visual of that.
Hmm.
Um, so eventually they end up at wait,
I think his place, yeah. He
his
said like he
place?
had a nice view, something like that.
Yeah, I think it's his. I can't remember if it's his or hers now. I think it's his.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh,
Um,
yeah. I think it is his because like she asked like, and where do you live? And then yeah, it cuts right to them outside.
oh yeah, yeah, yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. But they go to his place. They enjoy a nice night, and it's like, oh look, uh, Neil's getting into a little relationship here. That's interesting. We'll we'll see how that plays out. Um,
Yeah, I'm sure look forward to them progressing and becoming a happy couple.
yeah, they will end up together at the end. Spoilers. Um, yeah. But anyways, I think the next part is Vincent goes to meet with Albert, who's
Albert.
he's just
Mhm.
he's a guy he uses to get information, stuff going on in the street.
Mhm.
Um, so he meets with them, and Albert doesn't really have anything at the moment, but
Mhm.
he's going to
Mhm.
he's going to set Vincent up with his brother because his brother
Mhm.
seems to have some information that could be
Mhm.
useful in the case.
Mhm.
And I do like there's a line earlier in the movie where
Mhm.
this is not the only lead um, Vincent is following, and like
Mhm.
they don't show all of it, like because that'd just be a waste of time. It's not useful to show the dead ends, but
Mhm.
they do show like in dialogue. There are more places he goes to. There's other people he talks to.
Mhm.
There's others like the rest of his crew. They're going to try and get info from as well.
Mhm.
What is next? The next part is he meets with Neil.
Also.
Neil meets with Kelso,
Mhm. Mhm.
who is played by Tom Noonan, who also plays Francis Dollarhide in Manhunter, which is a really great performance. But he meets with him, and Kelso's got a bunch of information for a job, and
Mhm.
this is a bank robbery.
Mhm.
And so Neil's
Yeah.
Neil's questioning it. He's
Mhm.
not just going to say yes right away. He's getting all the info.
Mhm.
And so Kelso reveals he's created these like circuits boards that can plug
Mhm.
right into the system and cut off the like outward alarms and such, which means once
Yeah.
they're in there, there's no call to the police
And the
because
cameras too.
yeah,
They're also
because the
stuff.
night before they will have turned them off,
True.
and they're gonna make over $12 million from that, minus what they give to Kelso and Nate.
True. That who's there? Yeah, they're kind
Yeah,
of like the ringleader that helps orchestrating. Well,
Yeah,
not yeah,
Nate.
help find these jobs. Yeah.
He's kind of like a handler, I guess, maybe be a good way to describe him.
Mhm,
He helps out Neil. He fields things for him. And you
mhm,
can tell they're not just partners; they're kind of buddies,
mhm,
which is nice.
mhm.
But they're
Yeah.
gonna hit the bank job after
Yeah.
the one they're currently scoping out for.
Mhm,
And we've already kind
mhm,
of gotten a hint with this because he was looking at the Book of Titanium, but they're gonna
mhm,
hit a metals depository.
mhm.
So that's their
So,
next score. The bank will be after.
true.
Um,
It's also important to note in while Neil and Kelso are talking, it's this
yep,
while that's going on, Nate is also calling Roger Van Sant, to remember because they stole, his money.
yep, they stole his bearer bonds. And so
Mhm,
what Nate's trying to push is he's saying, "Hey man, these are insured, so you're gonna get your money back, but we'll
mhm,
sell them back to you."
mhm,
Um, and so basically, he'll make 140% of the money he had,
mhm,
and uh, the crew will still get a big cut. And so it's like, oh, everyone wins, everyone makes more money. Um, Van Zandt is like, yeah, sure, let's set the meet. I'll pay you.
mhm,
I'll pay you to get the bonds back, and I'll keep not all of the bonds. I think 40% of the bonds. I'll pay you for those, and I'll get my insurance money, and
mhm,
then we'll all be up in profit. And he hangs up, and uh, Hugh Benny, his right hand man, is like, "Are you gonna play with these guys, boss?" And he's like,
mhm.
"No, I'm gonna kill them." Basically, because the word's out on the street, people can steal Van Zandt's stuff, and one could say this is a big mistake from Van Zandt.
True. This might, yeah, this is gonna cost them more than just the 60%.
Now it's gonna cost him, yeah, it'll cost him a bit more,
Yeah.
a couple lives for.
Just how much we'll get to it.
Yeah, we will. Um, I do think that's pretty. It's a nice like development. Like, oh, we stole these bonds. We didn't know who we were stealing from, but we're gonna be able to sell them back and make
Mhm,
even more money.
mhm,
And I like Neil asks about what does he say specifically? He says how is he? Because he wants Nate's opinion, and Nate says he's a businessman. Like,
mhm,
oh, he won't screw things up.
mhm,
He's a businessman. He wants to make money, but this is a little like judgment and error from Nate,
mhm,
because Van Zant, he's not just a businessman. Well, he is, but he also like there's a bit of pride and honor that goes into it. Like, I'm not just gonna let these people steal from me. That's not
mhm,
gonna be my reputation. You're not allowed to do that.
mhm,
So I like that. And
yeah,
then Neil goes home,
mhm,
and Chris is there, and I
mhm,
think he calls Charlene,
mhm,
tells her, yeah, he's at my place. He's gonna
mhm,
sleep here.
mhm,
And then he wakes up in the morning, and they have a little conversation.
mhm.
And so Chris reveals they're kind of out of money because he was placing bets at Vegas and the
And
Super Bowl.
Super Bowl.
What do you have to say about this one?
All right. Well, this one will be well, if you don't really follow, sports history that much,
I
it'll
do not.
probably be like a bunch of gibberish to people. But I think it's proof that Chris here, what I'm trying to say is Chris is not a very smart gambler. Because if we pull up the book, because I pulled up the book a while ago, I noticed,
Heat 2?
yeah, the Heat 2 book, yeah. I have not read it for the record.
I have.
True. I like skimmed through the first like 10%. But anyway, that's not important. What's important is the movie does take place, the story does take place in the year 1995. More specifically, the 7th of September. But anyway, assuming that Chris did bet at the Super Bowl, which that year took place in late January, I'm assuming, he made a that, right before, because that was the game of the 49ers and the Chargers were playing. And at the time, uh, well, the Niners ended up winning. They kind of, scored a lot of points. It was like a blowout, which means they won by a lot. Like everyone, but I'm trying to say is everyone expected them to win anyway. So so assuming that Chris placed his bet on the Chargers, I honestly don't know what he was thinking doing that. Bad move. Even I could have told him, hey, you probably should not put all your money in favor of the Chargers, but I don't know. The only plausible explanation I can think of was because like this was like 1995. This was during like the peak of the 49ers and Cowboys rivalry. They were like the two best teams in football at the time. So the only plausible way I can see is like if he betted like on the Cowboys to like not like win the Super Bowl like before the season started. That's like the only way I can see, Chris making somewhat of a smart bet. But apart from that, yeah, and even that can be a big question. I don't know, it'd be too much of a tangent, but like that's yeah, what I'm trying to say is Chris is the yeah, don't trust him with your money. Don't let him go gambling ever again.
Which explains why why he doesn't have any money.
True. In the book, it does try to explain. I think the book is a little bit of a better. Well, not really much better, but I can see why he would make the bet. He like bet like on horses, and he bet like on a horse named after his son.
Oh yeah,
Yeah. But regardless, he's not a very smart gambler.
no. Um, we do have
We can go
a
gambling, but he's forever banned.
he's not allowed.
Mhm,
We do have a chat from earlier. I have no clue when. From poor
mhm.
writer. I wonder who that could be.
Interesting.
Anyways, he asked, do we have a top three favorite movies? Do you
Uh,
rather?
it's a very the list changes a lot, really. I mean,
What's your
I
three
know,
right now?
I don't know if you pointed a gun to my head. I mean, the only two I can give for sure is 2011 Drive and I don't even know why I said it that way, like as in like the year coming first, but
Drive
Drive and
2011.
yeah, Drive 2011, My Own Private Idaho from 1991. So I mean, those are the only two I could like for sure put, on like a yeah, like
Yeah,
my favorites. Like yeah, yeah, I guess I'm just gonna have to die for the. I can't name a third one right now.
yeah.
It's just too many in my head.
Mine changes a lot. Um, I think the like most common solid list would be Citizen Kane, Casablanca, Once Upon a Time in the West.
Mhm,
Um, we'll throw Empire Strikes Back and Manhunter. There's your top five for right now,
mhm.
off the top of my head. So that's two more than you asked for. You're welcome.
True, and those are four good movies that you named too.
I wait, I did five.
Yeah, four. Name four.
What?
Citizen Kane is not a good movie. I'm sorry.
Oh, you're rage baiting.
We
You're
can get to
not.
that for another time.
Wait, you liked it when I made you watch it.
You're right. I did enjoy it.
Yeah,
Rage
this
bait
is
non
bait.
successful.
Bad bait.
But yeah, I know I can confirm that I know Citizen Kane's up there.
Yeah,
Been the
good.
one to stick around for a long while. Yeah.
It's peak, peak.
Mhm.
Anyways, so
Cool.
um oh, here's where we get
Mhm.
kind of Neil's philosophy put into words.
Mhm.
He says, allow nothing to be in your life that you can't walk out on in 30 seconds flat if you spot the heat around the corner. Um, and this is a very interesting philosophy. It explains why he's so like cold and detached. It's like he doesn't want to be attached to anything because if he feels the heat around the corner, he's got to drop everything. And so it's easier for him to just have nothing. Except, this Edie woman he's talking to. It's starting to seem like that could be an attachment there.
True.
So in a way, he's starting to break his rule a little bit.
Or will he?
Will he? We'll find out. And so
True.
Chris responds, and I really like this quote. He says, "For me, the sun rises and sets with her, man." Um, so it's great. It's just a good line. It's like, yep, all he cares about is Charlene, and he screws up a lot, but he really loves her a lot.
I sure
Um,
hope they stay together.
yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
Um, then we meet
Donald.
Donald. We meet Donald.
Mhm.
And so he's an inmate, uh, or he was recently released from prison,
Mhm.
and
He's on
he's
parole.
trying. Huh?
Mhm. He's on parole.
Yes,
Mhm.
you're so right.
Mhm.
Um, and so he's trying to become the grill man at this little uh, little cafe,
Mhm.
little restaurant, and the boss is he just sucks and he's mean to him.
Yeah.
Um, and he says like, if you give me a hard time, I'm reporting you to the parole officer.
Yeah.
So
Like
it's just
reporting
like,
stolen or on high, drunk.
yeah, he's just being mean to him, and so we can kind of see like, man, this job sucks. And he is a
Mhm.
minor character. Um, he will be added to the crew way later,
Mhm.
but I appreciate that he doesn't come out of nowhere. We have a little bit of setup, and we see why he does what he does later
Yeah.
on.
Yeah. And I empathize with him. Yeah. Like I'd
Yeah,
rather be unemployed than work for his new boss. Boss is
yeah, his
terrible.
boss sucks. His
Yeah.
job sucks.
Yeah.
Um,
Like I'd rather be homeless than work for him.
yeah, and so
Mhm.
the next part is, I believe oh, they set up the meeting with
Mhm.
Van Zant's men, and
Mhm.
then so that'll happen the next day, and
Mhm.
then we see oh, I just what oh
It's when he
Vincent
catches Charlene.
Vincent hears about Alan Marciano.
No, no, no.
Oh no, sorry, that's Neil.
Neil, yeah.
Yes.
He
Neil
sees him.
makes the phone call. Then he sees this guy leaving a motel with Charlene in it.
Mhm.
And this part kind of used to bug me because I was like, what are the odds he'd be right there?
Mhm.
But I think
Mhm.
thinking about it, it's like I can see Neil being the kind of guy to know she'd be there, and that's why he picked that spot
Mhm.
to take the call or to make the
True.
call. And so
Mhm.
this guy is Alan Marciano from Las Vegas, and he will be important.
Yeah. He's a liquor guy, right?
Yep, liquor guy.
Okay. Mhm.
But Neil can tell Charlene like, you got to give Chris one more time, and he
Mhm.
says like he'll finance her anywhere if he screws up again, but she's got to give him the one more time, which I think is
Mhm.
just like actions like this really shows like how close he
Mhm.
is with Chris and the rest of the
Mhm.
crew.
Mhm.
Um, it's like he really wants Chris to be happy. He wants her to be with Charlene because she
Mhm.
makes him happy.
Mhm.
Um, and he's willing to put up his own money to make it happen.
Mhm.
And the next scene, Vincent meets Richard, the
Richard.
brother of Albert.
Mhm.
So I do like because Albert's kind of like it's clear like Vincent can boss him around. Vincent can say whatever, but
Yeah.
Robert like right away when or sorry Richard right away when they're meeting, he's starting to make demands. He's like, hey, I want you to go take down my competition, and he
Mhm.
gives him information to do it. So it's like it's clear he's like he's smarter than Albert. He's more clever than him.
Mhm.
But Albert still has the connections. And he
Mhm.
starts telling him there's this guy he knew back in Folsom, and
Mhm.
he's a fiend for the action, is what he says,
Mhm.
which comes back a little bit later
Mhm.
um, because he's talking about
Mhm.
Michael Sharito. Um,
True. But Vincent doesn't know. Mhm.
Vincent doesn't know. All this guy is saying is, yeah, this guy
Mhm.
he has something big that's gonna go on. And
True.
Vincent is basically like, dude, that's not enough information.
True. Yeah, it's like unbelievable. It'd be like, one of your buddies, said, was like single or virgin, you were making fun of him. You're like, no, 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 I'm not single. There's this girl I am talking to. You're like, oh yeah, who is she? Like, oh, she goes to another school. You wouldn't know about her, and
Yeah,
you're like, yeah, I don't believe that.
it's like Vincent's just this is not enough information to go on.
Yeah,
And he
yeah, you're
starts
a
to
loser.
leave, but Richard is kind of like he's saying things, trying to get him to come back because he wants his competition gone. And he calls the guy Slick.
Mhm.
And earlier in the beginning scene, somebody heard, or the homeless guy, there was a homeless guy near the robbery, the truck
Mhm.
robbery,
Mhm.
and he heard Michael call someone Slick. So that drags Vincent back in.
Mhm.
Um, and he gets his name.
Mhm.
And from there, his crew gets all the information on him.
Mhm.
They look at his record and
Mhm.
they start surveillance.
Mhm.
And so next we get the confrontation, or we
Mhm.
get the handoff, right?
Mhm. Yeah.
Neil meets with Van Zant's men in an
Mhm.
empty parking lot, and it's important to note like Neil set this location up. He
Mhm.
knows what he's doing. He's not gonna
Mhm.
get like Van Zant thinks he's clever, and he's not gonna get Neil because Neil's cleverer. Um,
Mhm.
and so the guys show up. Neil's very careful. He has the guy throw a package over to his car, but
Mhm.
the package does not contain money, only paper. And
Mhm.
he has another man get out of the back of his car to go and
Mhm.
kill Neil.
Mhm.
Um, and obviously, Neil's not stupid, and he has Chris covering him.
Mhm.
And so Chris is able to alert him. He's able to thwart him off, and him,
Mhm.
Chris, and Michael they eventually shoot both guys.
Mhm.
Um, and then he calls Van Zant, and Van Zant is trying to pretend he doesn't know anything about it.
Mhm.
And Neil says, "Forget the money." Um, and then we get one of the hardest lines in the movie.
True.
Because Van Zant doesn't understand, and Neil goes, "I'm
Um,
talking to an empty telephone because there's a dead man on the other end of this line," and he just hangs up.
Cheek. Cheek
And
line.
we cut to Van Zant, and he just kind of looks over at uh, what's the guy's name? Hugh. Yeah, he just
Yeah,
looks
Hugh.
over at Hugh, and it's just like, oh man, this may have been a bad, this may have been a mistake.
Mhm.
Um, so then we get an interesting scene.
Yeah. Neil's crew have dinner. Yeah.
Yeah, they have dinner together, which I think, because I mentioned it a little already, but it's like very clear. He
Mhm.
it's very clear he cares about his crew, and it's just like they're kind of like a family, They're like a family. They're out
Mhm.
having dinner together. There's one line I
Mhm.
really like when they're leaving. One of them like
Mhm.
tells their kid, like, "Did you say goodnight to Neil?"
Mhm.
And it's just like, oh, that's fun.
Yeah.
It's really nice.
Mhm.
It builds a lot of camaraderie between them. I sure hope
Yeah.
nothing bad happens to this crew.
Me too.
Um,
I do like too that it shows, Neil, despite, his problems, with, his guard up and, being isolated for the most part, he does have people who actually will ride or die for him, which is pretty
yeah,
nice to see.
his crew is like a family. They'll ride or die together. And there's
Mhm.
something else, like he's looking at them and their families and how like happy they are. You can
Mhm.
kind of see in his face he's lonely, and so he calls
Mhm.
up Edie and wants to see her again.
Mhm.
So he's gonna go over there soon. Meanwhile, Vincent and his fellows are they're watching him because they've
Yeah.
tracked Michael down. They
Mhm.
have trackers in two separate places in all of their cars,
Mhm.
or maybe not all of their cars. At least Chris's, or sorry, at least Michael's car.
Mhm.
And so they're running surveillance. They don't have info on Neil yet. This is the first
Mhm.
time they've seen him, which kind of
Mhm.
just goes to show how careful and detached he is.
Mhm.
Um, and so they already suspect because of where Michael is gone. He's been to the
Mhm.
precious metal depository. They know that's next. They know that's
Mhm.
their next score, and they're gonna be waiting for
Mhm.
him. And then we get a Wangro scene.
Yay!
Not yay.
Well, yeah, you're right. Not good. Not good.
He's with he's with a
Prostitute,
girl. Is
I
she
think.
14?
I don't.
Six? I thought they
She's
said
very
her
young.
age.
That's for sure.
I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure she's a minor. That's fun. But
Yeah.
oh, she's 16 or 17.
Yeah.
6, 7. But she's a street side prostitute, and they're done. She's leaving, and
Mhm.
uh, he's like, "Hey, man, you're dealing with the devil here. I'm gonna kill you," and he does.
Yeah, he does
And
kill
it's
her.
like, oh man, Wangro sucks.
Yeah.
Wangro's a very hateable villain. I think they do a
Yeah.
good job with him.
True. It's
Um,
a it's a great way, of making him, a worse person, than I guess it separates, people, like Neil from, people like Wangro.
yeah,
Yeah.
like Neil is
Mhm.
a criminal. Neil will kill.
Yeah.
Wangro's like a different level.
Yeah. I,
Wangro's a monster. And
yeah. He
then
does not deserve to live in free society. That's for sure.
no, and then we get like a compared another dinner scene. This time it's Vincent and his crew,
Mhm.
which I think is a neat parallel. Like
Mhm.
they're both kind of they both hang out with their crew. They both care about their crew.
Mhm.
Um, and he's dancing with
Disgusting.
Justine, and he gets a call,
Mhm.
and he heads out because that's his job. He cares about his job. It's very important, and
Mhm.
I think this scene is really good. Um,
Mhm.
he's kind of looking at the girl who was killed by Wangro, and her
Mhm.
family shows up, her mom,
Mhm.
and Vincent doesn't want her to go over and see the body in the state it's at, so he just like grabs onto her and just like hugs her and holds her
Mhm.
and just stays there with her for a good the scene's like probably 45 seconds of them just embracing
Yeah.
before her kids like take her away.
Mhm.
Just really shows how much Vincent cares. Like this
Mhm.
stuff haunts him and affects him,
Mhm.
and it's
Mhm.
because he like deeply cares about people, even though he's a little detached from them. Um, um,
Probably doesn't help that he's probably high on crack.
he is canonically he is canonically on crack.
Crack.
That was the
Yeah.
intention of Al Pacino and Michael Mann,
Real.
which is funny. I think it's interesting.
I wish I could get paid to be in a movie where I could do crack.
Wow, so true.
And he did it
uh,
twice too. Scarface.
oh, that's true.
I'm not sure if he actually was on crack. I mean, he
Right?
probably was.
He
Knows.
could have been. Who knows?
Yeah.
Who knows? But yeah. Then he goes back to Justine, and she's alone at the restaurant because it's closed.
Mhm.
And here is where they continue the conversation. And her big gripe with him is not that. She's like, you don't talk to me, you don't tell me what's going on. This isn't a normal relationship. You don't share me like you said you would. I got the leftovers. That's what she says.
Mhm.
Because and she says that all he is what he's going after. All he really deep down cares about is nailing the bad guys and
Mhm.
going after them.
Mhm.
And he loves Justine, but he just cannot offer her the same attention he feels he needs to offer to these other situations.
Mhm.
Um,
What? Well, I
yeah, and he
think it's
talks.
not just that, but wait, do you want to go or should I go?
No, go ahead.
It's like not only can he not offer, it's just he's afraid to because of all the messed up stuff he sees on the job. He doesn't want to traumatize Justine with
Oh yeah, and
stuff.
we hear more about how he's traumatized later. But he mentions during this scene like,
Mhm.
what do you want me to like say about my
Mhm.
job? Like, oh, a junkie fried his baby in the microwave. Let me share
Yeah.
that, and we'll dispel all the bad stuff. Um,
Yeah. Which I can empathize with Vincent on that because like what are you supposed to do in this situation? Because
yeah,
I because yeah, Justine first probably would not be able to handle it. She'd cry or tell him to
yeah.
stop. And she barely can even pay attention to her own daughter. What makes you think she'll pay attention to
No,
Vincent?
she wouldn't. She wouldn't get it. And Vincent says he likes to keep it to himself to keep his angst,
Mm-hmm.
like to keep himself sharp and locked in and like
Hmm.
know what he's doing. He's not trying to share all this evil stuff with someone. He's trying to keep it to himself and use it
Hmm.
to to motivate himself.
Hmm.
I really like the quote. She says, "You live among the remains of dead people," and that one's just like, oh, I like that.
Me too.
And we'll hear more about it later
Hmm.
about his dream, but it is true. Like he is traumatized by all the terrible things and dead people he's seen.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, I think it's fair for him to not exactly tell Justine everything.
Hmm.
This is
Yeah.
some terrible stuff.
Hmm.
But what's next? Lillian, she's uh she's Donald's I think wife.
Oh,
I don't think it's
yeah.
confirmed if it's wife or girlfriend.
Hmm.
We'll go with wife. But she
Hmm.
meets she meets the manager and she's like, man, that guy sucks.
Hmm.
And he says he'll handle the job and he'll do it for her.
Hmm.
And she says she's proud of him. And it's a nice little scene. It's one of those ones where it's like it's not necessary, but I appreciate it because it does build up his character a little bit. He's one of the most minor characters in the film, but they add things for him.
Yeah.
You know, there's more to him than just yeah he needs a job. There's
Hmm.
more than that. He is someone he cares about, someone who's proud of him for trying to do the right thing,
Yeah.
and
True.
that kind of makes the fact he's getting screwed over and
True.
the fact he's gonna try
Hmm.
to commit crimes, um, it makes it more tragic because we see what he's gonna lose.
Hmm.
Um,
Hey, spoilers.
well, no,
Well, it's been spoiled
no,
already. This entire movie.
I
Yeah.
didn't. I didn't say. I know you. I didn't spoil
You
anything.
you said he's gonna lose. That implies.
No, come on. What are you talking about? Anyways, poor writer said a friend of mine said Heat was terrible. Do you know why they would think that? I don't. I don't.
uh,
Tom,
tell us his their favorite movies then. Maybe we'll have a clue as to
if
why.
okay, look, if you don't like Heat, maybe watching movies just isn't for you.
I for sure wouldn't want to be Paul Ryder's friend for sure.
How do you think Heat's terrible? It's like that's crazy, insane.
Maybe if they hate the color blue,
Maybe if they just hate good things, they
that
hate
too.
masochism.
Or maybe
I
they
think the
hate that. Maybe they think three
or
hours is too long.
they are masochists. I mean, yeah. It's 2 hours 50 minutes. I think it flies by,
True.
especially hour two, or no, the second half just goes by really quick. Um,
It's awesome.
yeah, I think the time's great. I think the next part is Neil asks Edie to leave with him.
Hmm.
Um, not right now, but
Hmm. But soon.
yeah, soon. And so he means kind of after his next two jobs.
Hmm.
Um, so it's like, we're seeing more of like he's starting to care for her a lot. He's starting to get attached, one could say.
Hmm.
Um, when his code is to not get attached to things.
Hmm.
Um, and I think we'll probably talk more about that kind of stuff later.
Hmm.
Um, then Vincent finds Lauren on the side of the road.
Hmm.
She didn't want to be picked up by her mom. And this is kind of setting up her plotline for the end. She's very unhappy. She doesn't hang out with her mom.
Yeah.
Um, Stuff like that. Her dad doesn't show.
Hmm.
I wait. I may have skipped ahead a bit.
No, no, you're right. That is the
Oh
scene
no,
right after.
I am right.
Yeah.
And then the next part we get is the metals depository thing. And so Neil and the
Yay.
crew are they're beginning to rob it, and the
Hmm.
police are watching, and
Hmm.
Chris is cutting into things, and Neil's Neil's kind of outside waiting, and
Hmm.
somebody inside the container the police are in makes a little noise,
Hmm.
and Neil looks, and we get this really cool shot where he's in blue, like his face
Hmm.
is just blue as he's staring over.
Hmm.
Um, it's kind of like it wouldn't be infrared, but it'd be a similar thing,
Hmm.
close to night ray vision, I guess. I don't know. His face is blue, and he's just staring like right at the camera, like staring right at Vincent.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
this
It
is
was
like,
staring right back. Yeah.
yeah, this is like kind of the first time they see each other in a way.
Hmm.
I'd say more so it's Vincent's first time seeing Neil. He's looking right
Hmm.
at his face. He's surveilling him. And we're gonna get a
Hmm.
parallel to this later, which I think adds to just how similar these two guys are.
Hmm.
We'll get to that in a second. But Neil hears the noise and he goes in and he tells Chris, "Drop it. We're leaving.
Hmm.
Like, don't take anything because we could be being watched right now, and it's better to dip and be safe than get caught." And they
Hmm.
do. And Vincent has to argue with some of the other officers because he doesn't want them arrested.
Hmm.
Because right now all they got is breaking and entering. He wants to get him and get him in jail for life. So he
Hmm.
says, do not, do not get him yet. We're not arresting them now."
Hmm.
And so uh, Chris, Chris and Neil leave.
Hmm.
They don't get their score. But I really like how like no nonsense Neil is. Like he heard a noise and they're out of there. Like no
Hmm.
time wasted, no thinking, no like investigating. Just like it's better to be safe and ditch
Sure.
than get
And
caught
and
here.
it's nice to see, Chris, trust him, trust Neil's intuition too, because he's like he like tells him like when Neil tells him like, hey, we gotta go. He's like, don't worry, I'm almost done. He's like, no, no, we gotta go. And he's like, no questions asked. He dips too.
Yep, that's great too. Just how tight the crew is. And
Mhm.
that'll feed into the next scene, which is
Mhm.
Neil kind of asking them like, "Dude, where'd this heat come from?" Well,
Mhm.
we have to assume now they got our phones, they
Mhm.
got our houses, um, they got us here, they got our cars. We are not
Mhm.
safe at all.
Mhm.
And so he's like, we're not going to worry about Van Zant right now, and we're gonna. I love this line because they're like, what about Van Zant? And Neil says, with the heat we got, do you want to play World War II in the streets with Van Zant?
Wait, he said the name of the movie.
He says it a couple times, but I think that's
True.
a
It's
great
not the
line
first
because
time,
it's
but
like
yeah.
it's simultaneously like he's being hyperbolic. It's like obviously you're not going to play World War II in the streets with Van Zant,
Mhm.
and it's foreshadowing in a way, but it's like
Mhm.
they don't do it with Van Zant, but
Mhm.
they will play World War II in the streets.
Mhm.
Just a funny line, just a good line.
It is
Um,
nice, yeah.
and so Neil's recommendation is like 30 seconds flat. We leave. We go our separate ways. We're done.
Mhm.
And Chris is like, I'd like to stay and get the money.
Mhm.
Um, and so now it's obvious like Neil does want the score.
Mhm.
And so he asks Michael. He's like, well, what do you say? And Michael says, I roll with you. And he says, you're on your own. And
Mhm.
so he asks like, is this the best thing to do? And
Mhm.
Neil is talking about like, dude, you got money, you got T-bonds, you have a good wife, you should cut loose of this.
Mhm.
And I love this line. Michael just laughs. And he says, for me, the action is the juice, and it's this was kind of set up a little by what
Richard said, "Being for
what
action."
Richard said. Like this guy craves the action, and so he does, and he's willing to go in with Neil, and
Hey ho.
um so is Trejo.
Mhm.
Trejo's a minor character, but he's important.
Yeah.
And so they leave, and they're gonna take on the bank.
Mhm.
Um,
Yay,
Meanwhile, Vincent and
Mr.
crew find Alan Marciano, um, and they're pushing him around, and they want him to
Mhm.
basically spy on Charlene for them to try and get
Mhm.
information
True.
about Chris to figure out what their next score is.
Mhm.
Um, he doesn't want to do it, but Vincent persuades him, one could say, by threatening him,
Mhm.
and so he's willing to do it.
Mhm.
Would you like to say the famous line?
I was like, sure, I'll say it. Oh, I'm not sure if I'll do the best job at delivering, but yeah, it's like it happens, when yeah, when Vincent, when Alan asks like LAPD, what are you guys doing here? He's like, and he like name drops Charlene. He's like, oh God, like why did I get mixed up with her? And then and Vincent's like, 'cause she's got a great ass, and you got your head all the way up in it.
True.
Can't believe I
Um,
just said it at my house. Hopefully, no one has a problem with that.
yeah, it's a funny line. His delivery is great.
Yeah.
And he assigned Sergeant Drucker to kind of work with him and get all the info.
So,
Um, Meanwhile, uh, Neil and his crew go to this container facility, and they're
mhm,
standing in the middle of it, and they talk for a bit, then they leave. And
mhm,
then, because Vincent and Co are following, they show up there and they're looking around and they're wondering, what are they trying to hit? Why are they
mhm,
here? And he's looking. They're all looking around. They're trying to figure out what it is. And Vincent realizes the crew's here to scope out who's after him. And he
mhm,
starts looking around. And up high is Neil, and he's got a camera, and he's getting
mhm,
pictures of old Vincent.
mhm,
And this is kind of the scene I was referencing a bit ago.
mhm,
Because earlier we got the scene where Vincent was watching Neil through the monitor, and it was kind of his
mhm,
first look at Neil, and now we get Neil's first look through the camera at Vincent.
mhm.
Um, I think it's just a great parallel. Shows how similar they are,
True.
and sets them up for their first confrontation soon.
Mhm,
Um, Meanwhile, they have the info from Kelso to rob the bank.
Mhm.
So they get from Nate. Nate also gives them info on Vincent,
Mhm.
and Nate says Vincent likes him. He thinks he thinks
Gay?
Neil's some
I'm
kind of
kidding.
star. He does this sharp and he does that sharp. And Neil kind of thinks it's funny, but Nate's like, "This guy's had three divorces. He's dedicated." And he
Mhm.
says, you shouldn't do this.
Mhm.
You should not go for the score."
Mhm.
Um, but Neil's gonna do it anyways.
Yeah, because they already talked with the crew.
He already
They're like,
talked
we
with the
want to do
crew.
this. Yeah.
And then Vincent goes home and he sees Justine is going out and she's dressed all nice, putting on her makeup and such.
Mhm.
And he's basically just like, yeah, screw this. And he leaves. And
Mhm.
they've found Neil on the freeway. And
Yep.
Vincent flies over in a helicopter. And then he gets in the car and he starts chasing him down,
Well, not really chasing him down, just like following him casually.
following him. Well, he's got to catch up to him. Um,
Sure.
and let's just say it's a tough scene. It's tough because they
Mhm.
play New Dawn Fades, the
It'd be
cover
even
by,
tougher though if they played it by Joy Division and
yeah,
not by Moby.
it's the Moby version. I think it fits well.
It's okay, but
It
you
goes
you
hard.
already know me. I love Joy Division too much to
Oh, I know,
accept
I
any
know.
other version.
I think both versions are really good. But yeah, he catches up with Neil, and he pulls him over, and he
Mhm.
Neil puts his hand on his gun. He's ready to shoot him if he has
Mhm.
to. And Vincent's
Mhm.
just like, "How you doing? What if we go get coffee?" And
Mhm.
Neil says, "Sure." And I do like the part where Vincent says like, "Yeah, follow me."
Mhm.
Like I'm not gonna make it seem like I'm chasing you. This is gonna seem like an actual invitation for us as
Mhm.
professionals to meet, which I think is
Mhm.
cool. And
Mhm.
would you say this is your favorite scene?
It's very hard to say no. Just yeah, it's just awesome. It's
True, true.
where do we begin? You know,
Where do we begin? This is the two guys we've set up because this is
Mm.
almost directly halfway through the movie. So that's
A little after, but yeah.
yeah,
Mhm.
over an hour and 25 minutes of setup, and now
Mhm.
they finally meet face to face.
Mhm.
Um, man, yeah, it is hard. Like, where do we start? They just have a great conversation. Both of them are just really, really fantastic magnetic actors. Um,
Mhm.
just just a good scene.
And it's like, in that one conversation, Vincent and Neil, they connect and relate to each other more than they ever have and ever will with like all the other people outside of their, in their lives. Yeah.
Yeah, they
Like
really
crazy.
like they understand each other because neither of them can really
Mhm.
have a regular life. You
Mhm.
know, they're gonna do what they do best, and they're not gonna stop.
Mhm.
Um,
It's
they
kind
come
of
back.
sad because
Go ahead.
to me it's a little sad because maybe like in a different life, they would have been buds and maybe they might have had a quote unquote like regular life.
Yeah, it's like these
You know,
guys.
like
They're like the only ones who understand each other. The type of dedication and coldness they have. Um, I like how they're not in like the same situation.
Mhm.
It's not like oh they both have three divorces or oh they're both alone. It's like
Mhm.
they are both alone. They're both lonely. They both understand the dedication they have to their respective fields and what it
Mhm.
takes, but they are in different places in life.
Mhm.
Um, and so they talk about Neil's motto again: "Don't get
Mhm.
attached to anything you're not willing to walk out on in 30 seconds flat if you feel the heat around the corner."
Mhm.
And he tells her he does have a woman. Um, Vincent says like, "Oh, you just gonna walk out on her if I show up?" And he
Mhm.
says, "That's the discipline." And
Mhm.
so this will be tested later because, despite the fact he's saying it like this, I would say like deep down he is not totally committed to his rule.
He'd rather not.
He'd
Mm.
rather not follow this rule.
Mhm.
Um, but that's the discipline he has. He's kind of the way I view it is his nature is to follow this rule, and he's kind of breaking from it
Mhm.
by because he wants to live with Edie, he wants to have a life with her. But
Mhm.
is that going to be possible if he sticks with his rule and with his nature? That's
Mhm.
the big question.
Will be
And
answered later.
they talk about their dreams.
Mhm.
And I was kind of alluding to this earlier with how haunted Vincent is by just the horrible things he's seen. And he has this dream where all of his victims are just sitting there at this table looking at each other and they don't say anything. Um, they just stare. All the victims stare at Vincent. And you can tell it's like he just feels the weight of like, I've failed these people. These are people I could help. And I'm going to make sure nobody else ends up like them. Nobody else ends up at this table.
Mhm.
Um, we get a little bit more of that later in the conversation. Says he says to Neil, if it's between you and some poor bastard whose wife you're gonna turn into a wither or a widow, brother, you are going down. And it's just like, yep, he likes Neil. Him and Neil, they've got this understanding, but
Mhm.
he's not gonna let more people end up like the ones he sees now.
Mhm.
Um, Neil has his own story, his own dream, where he's
Mhm.
drowning,
Mhm.
and he says it's because he doesn't feel like he has enough time.
Mhm.
Um, so we do like we know he doesn't think he has enough time to like actually live the life he wants,
Mhm.
actually have the kind of family that his crew has.
Mhm.
He'd like that, and so he
Mhm.
tells Vincent, hey, you've got me boxed in. I may have to kill you instead of you killing me.
Mhm.
Um, I don't know what else to say. Just such a the
Mhm.
conversation's really interesting. The acting's really interesting. We've built it up for like an
Mhm.
hour and a half.
Yeah.
And it's finally just these two guys face to face.
Mhm.
It won't be the
Played
last time.
played again, by these remarkable actors, who are on screen, together, for the first time.
Yeah, yeah, some of the best actors ever
Just
at
goaded.
the same time. They are the goats.
Yeah.
Um, Vincent
And
returns to the
oh,
office. Huh?
I was gonna say a little bit something before if you don't mind.
Go ahead.
Like yeah, like right at the end, where where Neil says, they won't hesitate to shoot and Vincent is like, and they kind of hypothesize like maybe that's the way Vince like he's like hinting, that they'll probably meet again. One of them wants to shoot the other, and Neil's like, well, or maybe we'll never see each other again.
And
And it's like,
you kind of get the sense like that's what he'd like.
mhm,
Like he wouldn't want to have to. He doesn't want to kill him. Neither of
mhm,
them wants to kill the other, but if it comes down to
mhm,
it, they
mhm.
will.
It's in their nature. Mhm,
Yep. Um, and so then Vincent is wondering why all their surveillance is gone.
mhm,
and the crew dumped all of it.
Mhm.
So now they have no clue where any of them are.
Mhm.
And so then we get a scene. They put the little CPU boards
Mhm.
in the system at the bank.
Mhm.
So the next day is the big heist, and they've put the measures in to make sure they don't get caught.
Mhm.
Meanwhile, Van Zant, he's he's trying to figure out what Vincent is, or sorry, where Neil is.
Mhm.
Um, and Hugh brings in a guy who's met Neil,
Wonder who it could be.
Mr. Waingro.
Oh no.
Um, and I do like the part. He's like, "How well do you know Neil?" And he says, "Oh, we've taken major scores together." And it's just like, dude, you're lying. You took one.
One. Yeah.
It's just a
And that
funny
one you almost
line.
screwed up. Yeah.
Like he's just trying to make himself useful, as well as to kind of get revenge on Neil.
Mhm.
Um, and so I'll summarize the plot line a little bit. Basically,
Mhm.
what happens is he leads into Trejo,
Mhm.
and they beat up Trejo
Mhm.
nearly to the point of death. They kill his wife, and
Mhm.
Trejo spills the info on the heist, and Hugh calls it into the police.
Mhm.
And then we'll get back to the rest of the story. So
I
then
sure wish we saw all. I sure wish we saw all of that in the movie.
there's a couple deleted scenes. Um,
Mm.
you can still follow the plot. The plot still works. I kind of wish
True.
they kept it in because it was only like 30 seconds of material, but
Mhm.
it really doesn't matter. It keeps the
True.
movie moving.
Mhm.
But the crew's at the diner the next day,
Mhm.
and they recognize Donald. And
Mhm.
so Trejo calls, and he's like, "Man, the cops are all over me." It's not the
Mhm.
cops. It's far worse than the cops because
Yeah.
this is
As we
Van Zant's
established.
men.
Yeah.
And so Trejo basically has to bail on it.
Mhm.
And Neil has him like lead them out of there. But
Mhm.
he goes and he recruits Donald, and Donald takes a good 20 seconds to think about it.
Mhm.
And then he kind of looks around the diner and he's like, "Yeah, screw this. I'm going with you guys."
Mhm.
And he joins the crew in Trejo's place as the driver.
Mhm.
And
Driver.
so, Drive 2011 reference?
The
Yeah, it's
Driver
just like,
1978 reference.
yeah, that too. But it is just like, yeah, you understand why Donald is doing this. You
Mhm.
understand it, but it will become a little traffic or a little tragic. Sorry.
Mhm.
Anyways, next day they rob the bank,
Mhm.
um, and so they don't have to worry about the cameras. They don't have to worry about the security systems. They take out the guards. Um, I do like how Neil tells everyone to get down. He's like, "We're here for the bank's money. Yours is insured. You're not going to
Mhm.
lose any money.
Mhm.
So don't try to be a hero."
Mhm.
Which is just like, yeah, he's a clever guy,
Mhm.
you know. Um, he also tells them, I do like that they add like the if you feel sick or you got heart trouble, you can lean against the wall.
What
It's a neat.
considerate gentleman.
Yeah, he's not like evil like Wayne Grow. Like
Yeah.
obviously he's not exactly the best person, but I do
Or Donald's
appreciate.
former boss.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's true. But I do appreciate the little moments that are like he's not inhuman or
Mhm.
anything like that.
Mhm.
But he's also at the same time like no nonsense.
Mhm.
And when a guy like won't give him the keys, he just hits him and takes him
Mhm.
because he's not there to waste time.
Mhm.
And so they get their money and they start walking out.
Mhm.
Um, And Michael gets in the car first, and then Neil gets in the car second, and Chris is starting to walk over to the car. And meanwhile, the LAPD's running down the street, and Vincent wants them to get in the car so they can basically surround it and take it from there.
Mhm.
So two of his agents are on the other side of the street, blocked by a
Mhm.
car, and the car moves,
Mhm.
and Chris sees him, and he doesn't waste a single second, not a
True.
single second, which I really like.
Me too.
Um, so he just shoots him just right
I
away,
sure
no time wasted.
True. I sure wonder how Vincent's crew got there in the first place. Get to that later.
Hmm, I did already spoil it,
Oh yeah, you did. Yeah.
but how they got a little tip from someone.
Mm,
And then the gunfight starts, and we got
mhm.
World War II in the streets. Um,
Yeah.
it's awesome. This is
Mm.
one.
Beautiful.
This scene's just let's like it's hard to like break it down. It's just so cool.
I I really gotta see this in the theater, man. We really
True,
do.
we do.
Yeah.
Especially like the sound of the guns. It just sounds so good. Um,
Yes.
they trained for months to do this, and it just
True.
like shooting at each other in the street. You see all the bullet holes in the cars. You see
Mm,
cops get shot. Chris
yeah.
gets shot. I like that.
Mhm. Mhm.
Donald gets killed. It's like there are casualties on both
Rest in peace,
sides.
goat.
There's also just
Michael also takes
injuries.
one.
There's also just
Mm,
injuries on both sides. It's just like,
mhm.
oh, it's just such a good fight. It's one of the best gunfight sequences ever.
Probably,
Um,
if I had to name out of the top of my head, probably the best one.
yeah, I probably would too. It's just great. Looks awesome. Um, very cool, like in the streets of LA.
I sure wish movies these days had good action scenes like this one.
Yeah. No, we don't get that anymore,
No,
unfortunately.
no.
That was days gone by. Um, yeah, I do like Chris gets hit and Neil grabs him and he kind of exposes himself a little bit to save him because he does care a lot about Chris.
Mhm.
I think that's really neat.
Mhm.
Um, and so at one point, Michael grabs like a kid as kind of a
Shield.
hostage, and Vincent just locks in, waits for him to turn around, and nails him.
Mhm.
It's just like I really like it. It's just like he's still no nonsense, and he's confident enough in his abilities to just take him out.
Boom.
It's really
Oh.
cool. Rip Michael.
Well, Michael did ask for that action. Well, he got his wish.
Oh, he wanted the action. He got his juice.
Yeah, real.
And he paid the price for it, which is yeah, that is pretty ironic.
Yeah,
Like he dies
yeah.
getting the action he wanted.
Hmm. I guess for him,
Um,
there's probably no better way to die.
True. It's also important to mention Neil and Chris. They get out of there.
Mhm.
They take off, and Neil brings him to a doctor and then to Nate.
The doctor.
Yeah, he steals the shirt from the doctor.
No, 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 not just that. The one line where the doctor asks how long would he I think rest for.
Yeah, yeah, okay, okay. The doctor's like, Chris has to rest, and Neil's like, we don't have that much time. And he's like, well, how much time does he have? And Neil goes, 6 to 7 hours. 6, 7, 6, 7. Yeah, 6, 7. We got a little cameo from it. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Anyways,
Michael Mann, you're a genius.
he saw it coming. He knew it was coming.
True.
Meanwhile, um, now they've lost Chris and Neo, so they're gonna squeeze Chris like at what uh at his like pressure point, which is Charlene. And
Mhm,
so they get Alan to kind of meet with Charlene, and
mhm,
so in doing so, he brings her to the police.
mhm,
I skipped a little part. It's just a tiny thing, but it's Donald's wife. Uh,
mhm.
what was her name?
I forgot. I'll be honest, but
Uh,
yeah, she sees on the
Lillian.
news that
She sees on the
yeah,
news that Donald died, and she starts crying, and it's just like
mhm,
it's one of those things, not necessary at all. I really appreciate it
mhm,
though, like
real.
showing the reaction of the person who cares for him.
Mhm,
Um, it's just nice. Like I appreciate the movie adding that small part in. Um,
mhm,
it's not necessary, but it adds a lot to both. It adds a lot to Donald and just the general like feel of the
mhm,
movie. It feels very complete.
mhm, mhm.
And it's really sad for her, but that's what happens.
And what's also sad is the scene following, where, Neil, starts, trying to figure out, how did they get sold out, and he starts by going to Trejo because he's
Yeah,
like, yeah, who was the only not there is Trejo.
he goes to
That's
Trejo's house. He finds his
mhm,
wife dead. He sees Trejo.
mhm,
He's barely alive,
mhm,
like barely can barely move. He looks beat, bruised, bloody. Um,
mhm,
it's just kind of sad to see him in that state. And he goes, "I'm gonna call
mhm,
a medic." And Trejo goes, "Dude, my wife's dead. I'm not gonna make it. Don't leave me
mhm,
like this." And so he
mhm,
kills him, and
mhm,
it's a really sobering moment. But he does give him the info that this was Van Zant,
mhm,
and he calls Nate, and he gets the address on Van Zant.
mhm,
He was at his home watching the game.
mhm,
But before we get there,
mhm,
Vincent goes to the home of Hugh, who Van Zant's right hand man. He's the guy who called in the
mhm,
report. And I love how he just kind of beats him up right away.
mhm,
Like, like there's not he doesn't stop to be like, hey, how's it going? Nah,
mhm,
beats him up, throws him through a window, and is
mhm.
like, tell us what we need to know. Who? And turns out it was Mr. Waingro.
Mhm. This
Um, can you still
horse
hear
shit
me?
that
Can you still hear me?
yeah, I can now. Yeah, for
Okay,
a moment I was like, huh? But
we're
now
back.
I
We're
can.
back. Okay, this is good
Yay.
news. This is good news. Anyways, so Neil goes. He finds Van Zant at his home. He breaks in, and
Mhm.
what does he say?
I
There's a fun line. Um,
hold up.
oh, he asks,
Uh,
so where's Waingro? Van
mhm,
Zant's like, I don't know,
mhm.
and he just shoots him.
Yeah, that's
And that's it.
funny.
Van Zant's gone, just like that, pretty quick. Um, yeah,
Rip
he doesn't
Bozo.
care.
Yeah.
No time to waste. He's locked in.
Mhm,
Which is yeah, like Van Zant, he wants revenge on him, but he's not useful to him anymore. So
mhm,
he takes him out.
mhm,
Um, Meanwhile, they set Charlene up at the house.
mhm,
And Chris rolls by, and so their idea is she's gonna stand on the balcony, and if it's him,
mhm,
she's gonna signal to the cops to go and grab him.
mhm,
And he pulls up, and he gets out, and he looks around, he looks up at her, and he gives her this smile, like full
Mhm.
grin, like I almost died. I've nearly lost my life, but I still have you.
Mhm.
Um, and it's nice, and it's a little heartbreaking because she gives him a faint smile, just a little one
Mhm.
back, and she
Mhm.
does a little hand signal like go,
Mhm.
and his smile fades, and he realizes um, that she's taken the deal from him. She's gonna protect Dominic,
Mhm. Mhm.
and now he's on his own.
Mhm.
Um, it's rough. The music's
Mhm.
really good. It sounds
Mhm.
like almost like screaming in the background, but not quite, like wailing.
Mhm.
It's just like he is kind of heartbroken. Like he's losing Charlene. He's gonna
Mhm.
lose Dominic, but they're gonna have a good life without him.
Mhm.
And it's rough.
That, yeah, I can remember being upset too. First time I saw it. Even last night, when I rewatched that scene was still sad.
Yeah, it's just sad, but it's like such a she makes a fair decision.
Yeah,
It's
the
just
right
sad for
the right one
Chris.
for everyone. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, Neil has then got to convince Edie to go with him.
Mhm.
She kind of runs around, and he's got to grab her and be like, "Yeah, I did this, but like, you should come with me. I've been lying
Mhm.
to you."
Mhm.
Um, anyways, then Vincent sets up Wingro in a hotel and
Mhm.
stations some police around and puts the
Mhm.
info out on the street
Mhm.
that like, "Hey man, this guy Wangro's in this hotel under this fake name, and it's a
Mhm.
trap for Neil."
Mhm.
Um, and Nate will eventually tell Neil after Neil
Mhm.
convinces Edie to stay with him.
Mhm.
And Nate gets them an out. They have a way to leave. They're gonna go to LAX. He says, "Look,
Mhm.
you probably don't care, but if you
Mhm.
still do, Wayne grows in this hotel under this name."
Mhm.
Um, and Neil is like, "Oh, of course not. I'm not
Mhm.
gonna go because Neil has
Mhm.
this discipline, and he's willing to walk out on anything in 30 seconds flat."
There's
Except
defeat
no,
around the
except
corner.
not really. And he decides, I am gonna kill Wangro. I'm gonna get revenge,
Mhm.
and he goes to do that. And if he just went and left, everything would be fine.
Everything will be fine,
Him
real.
and Edie would have made it.
Edie
Um,
probably still would have been a little traumatized from, seeing Neil on the news, but apart from that, everything would have been fine.
yeah, but I mean, at this point, she has chosen to stay with him and go with him and build a new life with him.
True. But I would imagine, if you were in her shoes, it'd take a little while to
It
get
would,
used to it.
no, it would. You wouldn't see him the same for a bit, but
Mm.
he just can't he just can't walk out on Wangro. Can't walk out on that commitment he has left.
I can't blame
Um,
him either, because I mean, he took out Trejo, you know, and
yeah,
costed him the bank, which technically indirectly costed Michael and Donald,
yeah. He
and
is the
and
reason the crew died.
and Chris, can no longer see
Yeah,
Charlene and everything
I do like how Chris makes it out alive. Um,
too.
and he is the subject in the book and in what will eventually be the sequel movie.
Hmm.
Um, but it is interesting. Like all he cares about is Charlene, and he loses that.
Hmm.
So that's funny.
There are
Um,
no real winners in this.
there are no real winners. But yeah,
No.
Neil breaks his code again, right? He couldn't break it, um, or sorry, he did break it in the sense that he didn't just leave. He wanted Edie. He wanted to build a life with her.
Hmm.
Um, and he's still breaking that rule again to go get Wayne Grow.
Hmm.
And he goes to the hotel,
Mhm.
Meanwhile, Vincent and his crew are still looking for him,
Mhm.
and oh, sorry, we have a thing before. Vincent meets Ralph.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so he comes home, and Justine is she was sleeping with this guy Ralph, and Ralph's like,
Ralph,
"Oh
hi
shoot,
Ralph.
you're married? What the heck? Can't believe this. Stop."
Yeah.
And Vincent is
It's
just crashing out on him. He's like, "Sit down." He keeps yelling at him to sit down. It's really funny.
yeah.
Um, he's like, "You can ball my wife. She wants you to. You can lounge around here on her sofa
Okay.
in her ex-husband's dead tech postmodernistic house, but you do not get to watch my television set." And he takes the television. It's really funny. It's
Yeah.
just um,
Yeah, I love it too.
it's a valid crash out.
Yeah.
Um, and he leaves. Justine does say like, "You've been walking through our life dead."
Mhm.
I think that's a good line. And
Mhm.
it's like, obviously I don't like, hey man, cheating's bad, but it's
Yeah,
also
Tina's bad.
we get this scenario where it's like we understand why she's doing this because she is not getting the attention she needs from Vincent because he just can't offer it to her. So he leaves. He goes to work. They're trying to figure out where Neil is. Um,
Mhm.
we get something interesting like because this whole movie is like all I am is what I'm going after. And he decides to just stop going after Neil. He's like, you know what? He's probably gone. I'm going home. We lost.
Mhm.
Um, and because of this, because he gives up, because he's able to kind of let go just a little
Mhm.
bit,
Mhm.
he's able to find Lauren in his bathtub trying to kill herself,
Mhm.
and he grabs her. She's cut her wrists and her legs,
Mhm.
and he takes her to the hospital. I like how when he gets there, he like starts telling them what to do.
Mhm.
He's like, get a trauma surgeon, get a vascular surgeon. Her
Mhm.
pressure's down. You got to intubate because he knows what he's talking about,
Yeah, I can hardly feel her pulse.
and he wants to save her, and so he's just giving them all the info he has right away.
It's nice too to see that, his that Justine is right there too, with the cops,
Yeah,
asking where she is. Yeah, 'cause
like, yeah,
she's
she's not
worried.
the best mother, but she does care
She's
about her.
trying. She's trying, and
She's
that's more
trying, and
than you
she
can
cares
say.
about her when it counts.
Mhm.
And luckily, because he reached her in time, because he was able to let go a little,
Mhm.
he's kind of, I guess the way you'd say it is the universe kind of rewards him and he's able to save her life.
Mhm.
Um, and so then Vincent and Justine have a little talk about what she
Mhm.
did, about how Vincent's not going to just leave, how
Mhm.
things are going bad. Um,
Yeah, hold up. I think I have yeah, it's the full conversation. Yeah, it's like yeah, Vincent's like first, what about her dad? Want me to come? And then Justine says he's somewhere in the Sierras. Practically tell him, yeah, don't mind him. And she does, and she chose you. She picked your place. You know, like, it's not right what happened to her. And then he goes, no, it's not. In agreement. And then Justine's like, is there any way it could work out between us? And like you said, Vincent's like, I wish I could say yes. But in the end, it's like you said, all I am is what I'm going after. I'm not what you want, Justine. Justine said, well, it's like in between. He gets the pager. What could it about something? What could it
yeah,
be? We'll get to that. But then Justine's like, "Well, go on if you have to." And Vince is like, and he offered like, "No, no, no, I'll stay. I want to be there with you for once. He wants to try,
yep.
which is nice." And then
It's
Dean's like,
like
"No, I'm okay." Go
at
on.
this point, she has accepted. They've both
Mhm.
accepted this won't work. They've both accepted. Vincent can't change. Vincent realizes
Mhm.
he can't change his nature,
Mhm.
um, and she's realized the same. And I do like how she's wondering, like, can it work out between us?
Mhm.
Like she sees how much he cares, and she,
Mhm.
I would say, like, in a sense, remembers why she loves him and wants it to still work out.
Mhm.
But deep down, both of them know it can't.
But
Um,
yeah, with Vincent saying, no, I'll stay. I think it offers even. I think he also really wants this. I mean, he did admit, I wish I could say yes, but I think it's the first time he wants to, I guess, really make an effort to like really try to make this work. Like, yeah, it probably won't work, but I really want to try.
yeah,
And he offers to stay, and she's like, "No, I'm okay. I can handle this. Just be careful. Call me here. Let me know when you're okay. Okay." It's like both of them, offering, that safety in one another, which they both desperately need,
yep,
and they both haven't been able to offer to each other, well, until now. But they're actually trying,
yeah.
not
And
just
so,
Vincent trying to be a better person, but also, I'm sorry I keep cutting you off, but
no, you're
that's
good.
just I really love this scene,
No, I think it's great.
this thing. Yeah,
Yeah, it's
and
just
then
like
also
they
Justine
finally
also,
got they finally got an understanding.
yeah. I would like to imagine, like, in my head canon, post Heat, after I don't know what happens in Heat 2, but I'd like to think they just maybe worked it out. Just maybe.
Yeah,
Do not spoil it for me. Do
don't
not tell me
spoil it.
this.
I won't spoil it.
Thank you. But it's just besides, the obvious, cafe scene, where Vincent and Neil
Yeah,
talk. It's just hands down my my s- my favorite scene after that.
yeah, it's really good.
Now
Very
back to the
cathartic.
pager. Yeah, cathartic.
So
Now
the
back to
pager
the pager. I'll
happens.
let you take it from there.
There's a fire
Yeah.
at Wayne Grove's hotel,
Mhm.
and Neil is sneaking in, um, and he breaks into Wayne Grove's room and kills him. And that's that. Wayne Grove's dead. Good riddance. He deserved it,
Yeah,
but
he deserved it too.
Neil's gonna Neil may or may not lose out because of this. We'll see. Um,
But regardless, Wainwright's dead, and I think because of that, the world is a better place because he's
good.
dead. So thank you, Neil.
Yeah, 'cause he's a monster.
Mhm.
Um, there's a part where like a Neil walks out of the room and there's a policeman. He's like, "Stop
Mhm.
there!" And Neil kind of backs into him and takes him
Mhm.
down. And it's like, I don't know. The guy probably would have shot him.
Sure.
I think that part could have been a little better. But it's like it's very minor.
True.
Just throwing it out there.
I think Robert De Niro looks cool doing it.
Oh, he does look cool doing it. Um, and so then he leaves. And he goes out
Mhm.
and he's walking to the car with Edie, and he looks
Mhm.
over and there's Vincent, and they see each other. And so now we get Neil's final test, um,
Time's ticking.
which is, can he change his nature, the way he's been trying to, the way he did with Wangro and being with Edie, or is he going to revert back to who he is deep down?
Mhm.
Um, which would be to walk out on her and just leave. And he does
Mhm.
that,
Mhm.
and he leaves. And that's it. That's it for him and Edie. I
Yeah.
love how Edie
Yep.
gets out of the car and like looks at him, and she looks pretty heartbroken. Like, oh,
Sure.
after everything you said, you still didn't choose to stay with me.
I do feel for her.
It's very tragic.
Mhm.
And Vincent chases him, and they're
Mhm.
next to the airport, and they start walking around, chasing each other. We get some cool shots.
Mhm.
and it eventually ends near the runway,
Mhm.
where there's these little sheds, and
Mhm.
Neil's hiding behind one. And as the planes fly in, there's these big bright lights which shine,
Mhm.
and so he kind of gets the idea like the next time a plane comes in and we get the lights, that's when
Mhm.
I'm gonna be able to see Vincent
Mhm.
and shoot him, save myself. And
Mhm.
Vincent's kind of out in the open, and he's
Mhm.
walking around. He's trying to see where Neil is, and a
Mhm.
plane starts coming in, and the lights turn on, and so now Neil. I do like this scene because like what Neil's doing makes sense. Like, oh, once I have the visuals,
Mhm.
Vincent will be kind of blinded, and I'll be able to see him.
Mhm.
And so he ducks out of his cover. Um, but what he doesn't account for is Vincent sees his shadow moving,
Mhm.
and his reflexes just kick in, and he turns and he does not waste a second and just gets Neil.
That crack addiction pays off.
Yep. And he shoots him a couple times, and Neil falls down. And
No.
yep, this is probably, I don't know, this might be my favorite part. Just the conclusion, which
Mhm.
feels kind of like another cop out. But
Mhm.
like the first
No,
time
that's
I
a valid
watched,
response.
yeah, the first time I watched the movie, I remember thinking like this is good, but it's not like a masterpiece. And I feel like this scene is where it all clicked
Mhm.
that first time I watched it, and it was like, oh
Mhm.
yeah, I get it, yeah.
Mhm.
Because Neil falls down and he's bleeding, and we get the Moby song "God" moving over the face of the waters,
Beautiful
which just
song.
sounds amazing. And Neil says, "Told you I'm never going back," which is something he said during their first meeting,
Mhm.
and you can tell, like Vincent, he's like he did what he needed to, but he's a little sad over it, like a
Mhm.
little regretful in some ways, because this was the only guy like him, and now this guy's gone.
Mhm.
Um, and so they kind of hold hands, and Vincent just stands there as
Oh,
Neil dies, and the music
how
plays,
romantic.
and we linger on the shot for a second, and then it ends.
Directed by Michael Mann.
Directed by Michael Mann, the goat. Man, it's
Beautiful.
ah, what an ending.
How
It's
can you not like this movie?
yeah, I don't know. I don't know how you can not like it because it's so good.
It's
And the
awesome.
ending shot is just like we've built these two characters up. We've shown their kind of
Mhm. Mhm.
parallel journeys where they're trying to be someone they're not, and in the
Mhm.
end, they both choose who they really are deep
Mhm.
down. And they're alone. They're alone again.
Mhm.
Um, except, I guess the interesting thing is they find a little bit of solace uh,
Mhm.
in each other as Neil dies.
Mhm.
Um, and it's also interesting, like Vincent's not gonna have anyone who's like him around now.
No.
So it's tragic for both of them. Neil dies, Vincent's all alone,
Mhm.
um, and it's just like, man, everybody loses something in this one, which is how it should be.
Who didn't lose? I'm trying to think now. Uh,
No,
I
no.
guess Kelso.
Well,
Kelso
Kelso
got
didn't
money,
make
I
his
guess.
money. Well,
That's true.
okay, wait. They did give him 100K up front,
True.
so he didn't lose.
Yeah, I guess he didn't lose. I'm trying to think who.
Um, Richard,
True.
Richard
True.
didn't
Rich and
lose.
Albert. Yeah, Albert didn't lose. The
I'll
sergeant
make it.
didn't lose.
Yeah, Drucker didn't lose, but Chris
Yeah.
lost his family, lost all his money.
Mhm.
Nate lost some of his friends and the people with him.
Yeah.
Michael
Lauren
died. Donkey
Lauren lost
died.
her blood.
Yeah. Justine and Lauren lose Vincent. Vincent loses his family.
A little bit. Yeah.
Andy loses Deal.
Vincent lost even his television set.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, that's rough.
That's the roughest one of them
That's the
all.
worst part.
Yeah.
I could
Ralph
I could
technically lost it too.
I could live without my family, but no television set.
No
Well, I
television.
couldn't do that.
Alan is never gonna sleep with Shirley
True.
again.
Yeah. So that's Heat. It's
Yeah.
it's a 10 out of 10. It's a banger.
Yeah.
It's easily one of the best movies of all time.
Girl. It,
Happy birthday, Goat.
happy birthday. Yay.
Great, solid characters, a well done plot. We
Yeah.
didn't talk about the soundtrack that much. A lot of it is kind of quiet, but I think it works well.
Me too.
The visuals look really good. Michael Mann he's got a good eye for LA across several different movies. So yeah,
I I
it's the goat.
uh, I sure hope he doesn't ruin it in the next movie.
Oh wait a minute. No, no, no. Next movie's The Insider, and that one looks good.
Yeah, I mean he too. But yeah, that one
Oh
too.
shoot, yeah.
He
So I've
too.
read the book, and I think character-wise it's good, but man, are there a lot of plot coincidences and contrivances.
Yeah.
So I do hope that gets fixed in the movie,
Mhm.
but who knows?
I sh I sure hope since Michael Mann says he's gonna use AI, sure hope it doesn't ruin the final product.
Yeah, I hope it doesn't look bad. It very well could. But yeah,
Otherwise, we're screwed.
yeah. Anyways, that's Heat. It's goaded. If you haven't seen it, do that. I guess probably shouldn't be here.
True.
Yeah, happy birthday, goat. We'll never get another movie as good as you ever again. Probably.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't think I even want to watch any more movies ever again. Like,
I
I ever
saw
watch a movie as
somebody.
good as Heat?
Yeah, I saw somebody say like, why are they still making movies when we already got Heat? Like you just
Mhm.
can't top it. It's like yeah, there's very few movies that have released since then that I'd consider even even like a 5 out of 5, but none on
Yeah.
its level.
Well, I consider one.
Which one?
I think The Brutalist is a really
All
good
right, mate.
masterpiece.
Oh, James Fiddler has commented. Oh, I
Oh yeah?
doxed our name. James has commented.
You should be on here, dude.
Yeah, he is sorry he did not make it. He said we were doing good work. I agree. You
Yay,
can jump
thank you.
on really quick if you want and give
Yeah.
your final
Your
take.
thoughts. Mhm.
Go ahead.
Don't be like Trejo.
Tron Legacy is goaded better than Heat. That's bait.
That's too that yeah, that's a little I'm not
You're
sure I can
going too
agree on
far.
that one. Yeah.
Yeah, you
Mhm.
should get on really quick.
Yeah.
There's nothing. There's nothing. There's nothing stopping. Nothing
Yeah.
stopping you.
Yeah, this is your channel too with
I
Josh.
assume
Yeah.
there's nothing stopping you from getting on our show. Me and your
True.
show. Our show.
Mhm.
I don't think he's getting on.
It's
I
just
think
like
he.
Trejo, man. It's like I keep saying it.
Yeah,
Mhm.
he's just like Trejo. Can you believe this guy? Can you
Yeah.
believe this guy? I can't believe it.
Where's Rango
Crazy.
when you need him? No, I'm kidding.
It might be fun just for a quick second. To
Yeah,
mention
just
we
one.
watched Wake Up Dead Man, and it was bad, per usual. I knew you'd want
Yeah.
to talk about it.
I don't want to talk about it.
Yeah, I know. I just figured I'd
I'll,
throw that out there.
I'm just not gonna. Yeah, I be honest. I barely even paid attention to the second half.
Just gotta
The
drop
first half was
that
so boring.
gotta drop what seems to be a hot take in the end of the video,
Hmm.
just to let everyone know. Anyways, he does not appear to be Jeff the Gun, so I think that's all we got.
Yep, that's a wrap. Looks
Watch Heat.
like
Happy birthday, Heat.
happy birthday, Pete.
This is like top 15 movies for me.
Hmm.
It's pretty
It
high
has
up
to be
there.
up there for me. Yeah.
It's very good. Characters are great. So yeah, that's Heat.
If you can watch it in a theater, be very jealous of you. So
Yeah,
if you get the chance, do it for
I
me,
hope we
please.
get the chance someday.
We will. We will.
Anyways, I think that's us signing off.
You know.
Goodbye, everyone.
Adios.